People, deluded, I'm back again. I hope you're all doing well and safe. Good morning to those of you in the UK. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and of course, in some cases, good night. I hope you're all doing well and safe. It's Friday, so I hope you've all had a week to remember. I hope you've moved closer to your goals, hopes, dreams, and aspirations. Sorry for my lateness, people. You don't want content galore. It's very difficult managing the admin that goes with multiple videos and still doing the Arsenal stuff. So please hit the like button on your way in. Shameless plug, but please check out the pinned message in the live chat, because we're back with the Euro. So it's watch along business, people. As you lot can see, you know me, I work bloody hard, so I'll never be shameless I'll never hide away from being shameless with the promotion. Obviously, today, I can't lie, who is even playing today? You've got Spain versus Switzerland, so I'm on the right one. So yeah, check out that one. Obviously, later today, the big one, you've got Belgium. Like Matt has been saying in the live chat, there's some tasty games to come. Obviously, you know, the content doesn't rest, and neither do I. So yeah, I'll be covering all of these games, people. Then obviously tomorrow we've got England, Ukraine. Just clocked, probably should swap that around. So that's another one I'm gonna have to go back and do. So don't worry about that. And then obviously you've got the Czech Republic versus Denmark as well. So yeah, content king, content galore, man. Content's always coming. It's always coming. Obviously, we're going to speak about Zieliński. Hopefully, I've said his name correctly, and cover what we're hearing with Ben White. We hear City and all of these teams are interested. But before we just crack on with that, let me see what you lot are saying. Dom, I hope you're doing well, man. Shout out the Twitch gang. I appreciate you lot locked in each and every time. Shout out to subscribers, the members, the new viewers, you know, everybody who's just supporting the movement. I appreciate you guys, man. I really do. We're at 37,000 subs. We're not growing as fast as we could, but we're growing nonetheless, people. So yeah, make sure you're hitting the like button and all of those sort of things. You know, speaking of that, big up yourself, and you're in the Americas, or you're in America. So yeah, man, I appreciate that. We've got Sweden. DG Nation really is doing bits. My guy, we spoke on William yesterday, so go back to the live stream yesterday, and also check out I cut it up specifically, so I'm not really gonna go over that, man. So what he's doing is what he's doing. So I hope everybody's safe. You know, I see some of you, it's early morning, it's late night, it's whatever. So I hope you're doing well and safe. SP said, morning, broski, keep up the hard work, smash the like. Morning, DG, and everyone listening. Nam, appreciate you. Unknown user, you might be unknown, but you're right with the message. Get the likes up as soon as possible. I appreciate South Africa, and I defo appreciate St. Catherine. Shout out to my JA Tugs, man. Terry, my long-term supporter, and happens to be an Everton fan. He's here in Ben White, you know, to Everton, and he's bullish. I'm not gonna lie to you. In fact, we can crack on that note. Let's get into business, man. Let's get in what we're getting onto. Apologies, people, if you heard that pause in a sentence. That's actually because I actually haven't got my Google sheet. So how are we gonna do timestamps and the rest of it? Sorry, people. So let's go. Arsenal Friday. It's Friday, so I'm in relaxed mode. For what reason? I don't know, but nonetheless, I am. Timestamps. Ben White. What should we say? Everton, City, Arsenal fight for Ben White. Now, I'm not gonna lie, like I was saying at the start, I'm not gonna lie. When it appears that Arsenal might be close to a signing or signing someone, like with Gabriel and a couple of others, there's always this mysterious club that swoops in, and it appears that it's gonna be a bidding war. They're gonna complicate proceedings and things like that. So I don't know how true it is if Everton want him. I couldn't blame Everton. You know, you've got Pickford, you've got Keane, who's been called up, you've got Holgate, you've got a couple English players there, and Ben White would pay for himself. He would come here, go to Everton like us, develop, and, you know, he might be subject to the even bigger Premier League club. So I could understand Everton wanting him and things, and it could be a big statement again of ambition for Rafa Benitez and Everton, because, you know, last season they started off kind of well, and then they kind of, you know, fell off towards the end. I'm sure they don't want that, and they probably do need some reinforcement. So it makes sense. Apparently City have held discussions now. Allegedly they've not bidded, they've not done anything. I don't know if he's a priority for City. They have a lot on the books. One has to wonder with Man City the futures of potentially Ake, Laporte. You know, to be fair, they do. You could say one could come in because Eric Garcia's left. It doesn't. I don't know if he's a priority for them, but, you know, why would you not want to join the league champions? Why would you, you know, not on top of that, you'd probably be a bit part role, but you'd be adaptable for Pep. You'd be able to use him as a centre half, right back. He might even get a look in midfield. Obviously, with respect to Arteta and well, less so Rafa Benitez, there's, you know, Arteta and Pep. Who would you rather learn from? Who can improve you as a player? Who can make him closer to being a better player? You know, look at all of the players that not just improve them in terms of technical and tactical. It's always, there's just teachers. It's just their thinking. Look at the way Kevin De Bruyne, Zinchenko, Raheem Sterling talk. They speak like managers, man. So for what it's worth, I think it's done in it for really what it's worth. But if we just look at it, you know, for what it's worth. Oh, I'm saying look at it. We can't look at it because it's here. As you lot can see here, people. Well, hopefully you can. Everton are trying to gazump Arsenal Arsenal are trying to gazump Arsenal in the race to sign Ben White after holding talks with Brighton over a 50 million move for the England defender, with the Toffees moving quickly in the transfer market after hiring Rafa Benitez. Now, considering we finished above Everton, forgive me if I'm wrong. I don't know if we did, to be fair, because we're quite mad. There shouldn't be an issue. Now, you'd imagine, you know, I don't know if I's have been dotted and T's have been crossed, but you'd imagine there must be a gentleman's agreement. Apparently, Ben White's the one that's pushed for Arsenal. Again, I can't lie to you. I know Everton are a forward-thinking club within reason, but I don't think they're a more attractive proposition at this moment in time than Arsenal, really and truly. You know, what the hell did they do last year? You could probably talk about some of the signings not kicking on. You've got Rafa Benitez. It's a new thing. You know, I think there's a couple of clubs when they've been in for our players that they can talk to us. I don't think Everton should be able to. But for what it's worth, Everton have been in discussions with Brighton over defender Ben White. To be fair with you, Ben White owes us no loyalty. He needs to go to the best project. Maybe if Carlo was there, that tips it. Rafa Benitez's name does hold weight, of course. So yeah, Brighton want to sell him to the biggest, to the highest bidders. You know, we're at loggerheads. It's 45 million and then some add-ons. Then apparently there was another bid. Immediately you can see the Toffees bid 50 million, includes 5 million in add-ons. So again, Trump in Arsenal's package. So is that 55 million in general? Again, they're not being quite specific. There you have it. Ben White was understood to have been particularly keen on joining the Gunners, but he's impressed with how Everton have moved since appointing Rafa Benitez. What have they done since they've appointed Rafa Benitez? They've bidded for you and they can sell you a project. But this is where I think it's a bit of white lies from Mr. Mac Hughes. Again, I don't doubt Everton's interest, but this is where I think they're sprucing up the story. Because again, we heard that Ben White won't be drawn on speculation and talking about his speculation, but whatever it is, Everton are attempting to gazump Arsenal in the battle to sign England's Ben White from Brighton, with Rafa Benitez making his presence felt quickly following his appointment as manager on Tuesday. Sportsmail has learned that Everton have held talks with Brighton over a 50 million transfer for the defender, who is with the England's Euro squad, with 5 million available to the South Coast club in add-ons, a package that trumps the one offered by Arsenal. While I'd be happy to sign Ben White, I'm not going to cry if Everton beat him and they pay over the odds for him, because, again, there is the debate to be said, could you manage finances elsewhere? Brighton have already rejected 2 offers from Arsenal, with their highest bid of 42 plus 4 million add-ons being turned away last Friday, and are holding out for 50 million. Now, if you go on Charles Watts and things like that, he said this move is more or less done. Similar to Jadon Sancho, we'll see movement in relation to Ben White after the Euros. Now, admittedly, there's one key detail missing. Man United have posted on their Twitter, and their Twitter and their website, you know, what is exactly happening. Jadon Sancho is our player. Things will be completed after the Euros. You haven't seen such. So being close, having agreements, him wanting to sign for Arsenal, none of this means anything. Everton are an attractive proposition, especially with Rafa Benitez, if I'm completely honest. So if I was him, admittedly, I'm going City, Arsenal, then Everton personally, but you could say Everton ahead of us because they kind of show ambition, ultimately ambition for what it didn't work out with Carlo, and he left at the first chance of asking, really and truly. So yeah, we've heard our offers have been rejected for what it's worth. While they are yet to make a formal offer, so again, Everton are in discussions. They're trying to, you know, see what a bid could be like, people. So we'll have to see. Everton have indicated they are prepared to guarantee a payment of 50 million, 20 million of which would be paid up front, with the remaining 30 to be spread equally over 4 years of White's proposed 4-year contract. White has made it clear to Brighton, that he wants to leave, as he was given verbal assurance that the club would not stand in his way if they received a suitable offer from a top 6 club when he signed a new contract last year. The 23-year-old is understood to have been particularly keen on signing for Arsenal, but the speed in which Everton have moved since Benitez's appointment this week has impressed him, and he's not ruled out a move to Goodison Park, as he shouldn't. You know, playing for a big club like Everton, playing for Rafa Benitez, going to City, which again, if City are there, you don't know what Arsenal or Everton is. I would like you to come to Arsenal, but he owes us nothing. And I'm sure there's other clubs that would be interested. And this is a guy that's been quote unquote highly sought after, only going to improve as he keeps getting in the squad. So you do have to move kind of early. I just think it's a bit funny how whenever Arsenal are close to signing someone, you see articles like this. So I don't know what to read into this, but it is what it is, people. Benitez sought assurances from Everton that he would be back in the transfer market before signing a 3-year deal this week. And by sanctioning a move for White, the club have been true to their words. Fair play. You know, that was something that will excite them. So beyond that, there actually really isn't anything there. As you lot could see here, people, on Manchester City, because that article wasn't kind enough to mention a damn word about Manchester City. The race to sign Ben White this summer has taken an unexpected new twist as Everton are reportedly ready to outdo Arsenal and meet Brighton's valuation of the defender. Now, Everton are more competent in the transfer window than us. You look at Ben Godfrey. He was there. They went and got it. You know, they've done a lot of what they've needed to have done. And again, for Everton, you know, they'd have a bunch of England players. You know, I can't lie, I'm starting to lean towards trying to bid for Pickford from them. Calvert-Lewin's always been linked with clubs. I don't really want Calvert-Lewin, and I don't really think anyone's going to buy him this window, but you get the point. There's, quote-unquote, some English players appreciating in assets. And for me, if Ben White's smart, not that it's the same, but you look at John Stones. John Stones went from Barnsley. He then signed for Everton, stayed there a couple of years, and there was City. Apparently, this comes after Manchester City have also shown an interest in the England international and have reportedly held preliminary discussions over bringing him to the Etihad. Should we click on that article and see what happens, people? So this came out yesterday. Manchester City hold preliminary talks with Arsenal target Ben White, and he doesn't owe Arsenal nothing. Until you get it run over the line, he should entertain everything. And for me, if the league champions want you and Pep Guardiola, you go there. You don't entertain Arsenal. Because if you look at Arsenal, if I'm Ben White, I'm saying, well, Gabriel's there, Saliba's there. Has he dramatically made them better? Tierney and these lot talk about it, but is there a player that looks dramatically improved under Mikel Arteta? Not nitpicking, dramatically. You watched him 2 years ago, you watch him now. I don't know. If I'm Ben White, the key is to play regular football, improve as a player. You know, you're 23. You want to be an England international. You've not really played in the Euros. So again, how are you going to be at a level where Southgate can't ignore you? I think you get that via playing under Pep. Of course, I would love him at Arsenal. He's English and all of these things. I don't want to go over the same things. Please go and read up and look at my other articles and my other videos in relation to Ben White. But Manchester City have entered the race to sign Brighton centre-back Ben White ahead of Arsenal. As we know, Arsenal's bid was rejected of 42 million. Apparently, we had an improved offer of 45 million. Apparently, City, meanwhile, in the market for a new centre-back as they look to offload Eric Laporte. Now, why? I don't think they'll force Laporte, but if he wants to leave, as we spoke about, that's something you have to consider. Apparently, City do need to sell Laporte before bolstering their defensive options. I'm not too sure they need to. City need to sell today before they can buy it, but I get it. They don't want to be bolstered with numbers. As you lot know, Ben White, you know, he's not getting drawn on speculation. He's admitted he's focused on the Euros as he should be. We spoke about yesterday. He said it's nice. It's happened quite a lot over the last 2 years. There's been a lot of noise. When asked on whether he spoke to his teammates about the Arsenal rumours, he said, not really. I mean, he's lying, man. You think he ain't asked Saka about Arsenal? You think Jadon Sancho's not speaking to Rashford about United? Come on now. You think Kane and Grealish haven't spoke about joining Man City as well? Come on now. Now, what they don't need to focus on that after, focus on your campaign and Ukraine and potentially Czech Republic or Denmark after that. But let's be honest, he's not going to come out and say that, is he? Even Everton, are you sure you think he ain't asked Pickford about what's happening at Finch Farm and all them things there? So it hasn't, you know, they haven't put a bid in. It hasn't said Man City have made a bid. It hasn't said Everton have made a bid. It said we've made a bid. So really, everybody's had talks. Nobody's done nothing really. So we'll have to see, people. So yeah, what else is this? He may have only made 36 appearances and is clearly behind Harry Maguire, John Stones, Kyle Walker and Tyrone Mings at centre-back, but White is a man in serious demand. You have heard Liverpool have been on him. You've heard Spurs previously, and we did hear PSG. Everton may be making the clearest offer upfront of cash with fewer strings attached as Arsenal differ, and Manchester City must offload Eric Laporte before signing another centre-back. Boy. However, with the likes of the Premier League champions interested in him, White may take some persuasion to commit his future to Everton. And, you know, he needs to. I don't think it's the right time to be considering your future. Obviously, if only one club was trying to buy you, of course, but you've got a lot to think about. And to be fair, you're barely playing, so you probably could think about it, but it isn't really going to make sense. I don't think we're going to see much on that, man. Should we type in Arsenal and see what happens? Yeah, that's it, man. It's just the same old things. Let me see what this is happening here. Arsenal's transfer pursuit of Ben White takes a twist as Everton tell Brighton they'll pay 50 million. Is there any other details? We've been trying to persuade the Seagulls, and this is why are we not offering it? 142 of you, please make sure you're locked in and you're checking out the live message. So obviously you're here for the watch alongs tomorrow. One has to wonder, why have you not offered an Eddie Nketiah to try and do something there, a Reece Nelson on loan, or like I said yesterday, offer them, offer to buy him and give them Saliba on a year. If you don't want to give Saliba football, I'm sure they'll think of that as an attractive offer because they're going to have to replace Ben White. They're not going to take this 50 million and buy a 50 million centre half, but they're going to have to replace him, aren't they? Apparently, so what's in Everton's favour? They're more on the guarantees. Are Arsenal going to do what we did with Torreira and Pepe and say we'll potentially even pay more over a longer period of time? So we'll have to see, people. And it's a bit like Aston Villa, with Buendia. They're prepared to slap a sell-on clause, prepared to bend towards Everton's structure of how they want the payment. So it is what it is. If he feels going to Finch Farm is the best thing for him, people. It is what it is. But like it said here, it'll be down to Benitez to convince White that a move to join his new era at Goodison Park is the right one at this stage in his career, people. We'll have to see. Obviously, you hear we've got good contacts with the people at Brighton due to Richard Garlick, so we'll have to see what firmly happens. But for what it's worth, I don't know, man. I think we're going to get our man, but my thinking isn't based on anything. I don't really know if Everton are really in for him. I think the City name's just being said. I just find it a bit funny how whenever Arsenal's close to signing someone, miraculously, there's another club coming in. This happened with Gabriel and things like that. But we'll have to see, man. If he comes, he comes. If he don't, he don't. As much as I want Ben White, it's hardly a prime Cannavaro. He's free to do what he wants. As you lot can see here, people, I'm dropping the links for the watch-alongs and the rest of it. Please make sure you're all there. Watch-alongs galore links have been dropped. So, yeah, let me see what you guys are saying, folks. Where are we at in terms of likes as well? We're only at 57 likes, people. We can defo do better than that. Yeah, we just spoke about City wanted him. Good evening from Taiwan. I appreciate the Taiwanese guys. I appreciate you lot, man. Big up Mark from Australia as well. I'll see you in the live chat. Excited for all the upcoming streams today. I appreciate that, man. Bro, Ben Godfrey was there. I would have loved that, man. I would have loved that. Tyrese, I hope you're doing well and safe. So, yeah, man. Switzerland minus Xhaka, what will they do, bro? They'll probably play like the prime Spanish side. But, agendas, if they go out, we've got agendas, I guess, man. Morning, DG. What is going on with our club? It feels like we put our name in for players to get the fans hyped, dilly-dally about, so another club comes in and we don't have to buy. Don't quite think it's as basic as that, but we do appear to dither, sit on our hands, hold our hands, got our heads in the sand while other people are making business, man. He would suit Arteta's style much more than Rafa. And that's interesting that you say that, Terry, because you are an Everton fan. Interesting one, man. Not worth the fight if the news is true. Just go out and get a more polished centre-back that can come in straight away, have an impact. Surely the quoted 40 million can get that done. To be fair to you, I think no more than 50, really. I think 45 million plus 5 million add-ons to equal 50. I think that's a fair offer. I wouldn't go over than that. We might look back and say we got it wrong, and I think he's going to be a class defender. But he's not the only guy in the world. Like I said, he's not a prime, Cannavaro. We can definitely, spend that money elsewhere, because my big thing with Ben White is not actually him. You've got a 23-year-old. He's hardly 26, 27. He's not in his prime. Now, I look at it. If he does sign for 50 million, what? Gabriel was about 30 something, 20, 30. Saliba was about 28. So you're looking about 100 odd million on centre halves now. And one is not one of the best in the league. I think Gabriel is, but it's not it's not a unanimously football agreed opinion. We're not really seeing the development in any. So again, exclude Ben White. If you're not getting, for me, away from Saliba, whether he's here or not, I don't see a clear plan for his development. It looked like when the going got tough, Arteta ducked Gabriel out the team. I don't know how Ben White's going to come into this, because he might be better than them, but he's of the same age. So, and I've said that before. You look at Smith Rowe, you look at Saka, you look at a lot of these guys. It's down for Arteta to improve them. Can I evidently see improvements in every player that in a single player? Evident improvement? The answer is probably none. I can nitpick, but it is that. And then so my point being, when you've got a man that isn't, that 26-year-old, that Virgil van Dijk from Southampton coming into Liverpool, which is something we want. Not Van Dijk, but someone that's clearly better than what we have. I mean, I'd love Van Dijk, but you get the point. It's down to Arteta. How are you going to develop him? It's all fun and games saying he can play centre-half and all of these things, because, yeah, our defence has improved. And I'm not saying this to take anything away from Ben White. you've got to cap some of his defensive ability or defensive stuff, what you've seen at Brighton, because they have a good defensive record, you know. That's because there's a system, there's an emphasis on individuals and the collective. We can't expect him to come and suddenly we get 20 clean sheets. Now, we have improved defensively, but we're not switched on for large periods. We can't just, he needs to walk into a structure. And again, we don't really know where he's going to play. It could be right back, centre half. It could be everything. I hope it's centre half. But, you know, he's a player that's adaptable and can play in a couple of roles. So I'll be kidding if I'll be lying to you a lot better if I said I was a manager and that didn't entice me. But like I said, hopefully we get a centre back. But I do agree with you. It's not worth all the hassle fighting Man City, fighting Everton. You know, if we've put the offer down, let's not go past our limit. If he wants to sign, sign. If not, keep it moving. It's as simple as that. Pardon me. I like to think he'd want to come to London, you know, join Mikel Arteta. Right? Obviously, he was formerly at Southampton and he played for Brighton, but we could get Chambers to chat to him. Chambers is from Southampton. I'm sure he can relate to him and do what he needs to do in that regards for him. I want to see Ben White sign for the club, but equally, I would like a more polished, someone that I can evidently say, all right, cool, you kind of lift our defense. I think Ben White does on ability, but are you significantly better than Gabriel? Arguably not. You're better than him probably because of development. In fact, I don't genuinely believe that in my heart. I'm only really saying that because we're linked with you now, if I'm honest. So I have to see, man. Where's all this interest coming from? A few weeks ago, it was only us, Brighton, trying to squeeze more peas. Probably. It could be anything. Everton and City and all these teams, they could be legitly interested in my man. It could just be because they do it. Arsenal do it all the time in the Daily Mail with Sammy Mokbel. They start filtering little things in there. You know, we'll never know. Because at the end of the day, we're not in the boardroom. Maybe Everton, maybe the people that make the decisions at Everton are looking at this and laughing. You know, did we not hear Everton wanted Holding? You know, can we, you know, you lot leave Ben White, we give you a Holding or Chambers or something and do something, man. To be fair, if there were Ben White to PSG rumours as well, so it seems like Brighton are trying to make Arsenal pay up, probably, man. Don't understand how these players are valued nowadays. Bang average players for top right prices, English tax, and the fact that everybody knows everyone's got money. It doesn't matter if a player is worth it. If they know you got money, they try to finesse you. It comes down to how good of a businessman you are or not, man. Ben White will still be better than most our centre backs. I don't need him to be better than most. I need him to be significantly better. I think he is. You know, is he clear of Gabriel? Probably he's ahead of his development. But do I think he's clear of Gabriel? Probably not. Him and Gabriel be my top targets. My man said top targets. They'll be my top centre halves. But my point is, you're gonna have him who's 23. Gabriel is the same age. And Saliba is the same age. When things are going wrong, where's the experienced heads? I want Ben White because he's, you know, compared to us. He's a pensioner compared to the other youngsters in a positive way. So it is what it is, man. Want Ben White, but we'll have to see, man. Ben White's not the only guy in the country. And to be honest with you, I'm not gonna lie. There's too much fuss made of someone that's not even levels like that. I like him. I think he's good, but I just think I've heard too many rumors. I've done too many videos. I've made too many thumbnails on Ben White. I like him. I'm not trying to criticize him, but it's hardly Messi, Ronaldo, and that. So I just think there's too much. We'll have to see what happens. But if we're going to sign Donny, sign Donny. If not, we keep it moving. And what I always say, if he comes, he comes. But the problem with Arsenal, like we saw with a lot of targets now, we saw it with Buendia, we saw it with Aouar, we saw it with Odegaard. When Arsenal are linked with a person, it's almost like they're the only person capable of doing that job. They're the only player in the world. They're the only one we're looking at, which is cool. But at the same time, you need to be prepared. You know, unless you've got an agreement, something I don't know, unless the contract's been signed, I's have been dotted and T's have been crossed, Ben White can do whatever the hell he wants. He can give you whatever promises. So I hope that there are other targets. If Ben White says, no, you're going for this centre-back. If that centre-back says, no, you're going for this. And the same logic of thought extends to midfield for me, and definitely that can, because they betted on Odegaard. Odegaard said, F that, it's a Madrid thing. So we're in a bit of a pickle in that. Please make sure you're hitting the like button, people, and please make sure you're setting your reminders for the watch-alongs to come. So we'll have to see what happens in Ben White, man. We spoke about Sabitzer yesterday. I would love him. And again, 17, 18 million euros. Come on, man. There's just some things that are no-brainers, man. You know, I'd rather see us do that than the penny pinching we have done, man. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And you're obviously seeing Ruben Neves rumors surface again as well, people. In fact, even on that, we can entertain ourselves. Again, it seems like all of Arsenal's targets are getting robbed, really, people, because not only are we potentially losing Ben White, you know, Manchester United allegedly are now in for Ruben Neves. Now, I can't lie, we're signing bare midfielders. Burge, Neves, the Conga. Basuma, one's gone dead. There's bare guys. But if you believe what's being said, you know, Man United, who they're getting Varane, they're getting Sancho. You know, I swear that means they've made the most expensive centre half signing, striker signing. You know, they've done a lot. I know the Glazers get a lot of heat, but they've done a lot there, ain't they? From what you can see here, Manchester United in discussions to hijack Ruben Neves to Arsenal transfer. I wish it was Arsenal. Manchester United are in early discussions over a transfer for Wolves midfielder Ruben Neves. United are interested in signing a midfielder at some point, although the position is not a priority this summer. Needs to be a priority for us. And, you know, I don't know what's going to happen with Paul Pogba, but it probably needs to be a one of importance for them, even if Pogba stays. There are now suggestions that an opportunity to sign Portugal star Neves has arisen, with Arsenal also linked with the signature. According to Eurosport, Man United are in discussions over a deal for the Wolves star, who has impressed in his 3 seasons in the Premier League. I ain't gonna lie, I wouldn't say impressed. He's batted it up one year and then he's just been a calm player. I don't think he set the world alight. He's a decent player though. I want him at the football club. In midfield, Ruben Neves is still a player they have not had major talks with, but there's still discussions there. Arsenal are the ones that keep being linked with Neves, but United are still in that conversation. You've also heard United are linked with Camavinga as well. So make of that what you will. Should we see if there's any, you know, Spurs allegedly looking at him? So it seems, I'm not going to click on any of the other ones, but you can see they're all of the same sort of talk, and never, you know, Matter signed a new deal as well there. So, in fact, let's see what the Daily Express is saying. Manchester United in discussions for Ruben Neves as Arsenal face threat to deal. So, what is Arsenal's level of interest, man? But as we can see, Manchester United are reportedly in discussions over a potential deal for Ruben Neves. The Wolves star has been tipped to leave the Molineux this transfer window. Arsenal largely seen as the favourites, people. So, yeah, this one actually hasn't gone on to be specific, but we can see. Yeah, so I mean, it just seems like there's one man who's saying that, really and truly, Dean Jones. I swear he used to work for ESPN. So make of that what you will, people. Yeah, man, it is what it is. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if it's legit, but gotta be in it. Arsenal for Ruben and Neves. Make sure you're smashing that like button, people. Let's at least get to 200. What's going on there, people? We're at 93. Let's keep moving. Let's keep moving. So it is what it is, man. I don't think there's any other Arsenal transfer news. Before we get into Zieliński, let's see if there's any other. Come on, man. Link us with someone half decent, mate. Already spoken about that. We know Ben Schaefer's left. You know, Ben Schaefer's left. Ballard's gone to Millwall on loan. Speaking of that, you've seen Benicofobia and Daniel Ballard have gone on loan to Millwall. Well, Ballard, good luck. Benicofobia, I didn't know. Hopefully they both have a good time there. I'm not a big fan of Millwall, so it is what it is, man. I think Ben White and Gabriel could be a class pairing in 1 or 2 years, but that first season is going to be tough. Exactly. It's like with Saliba, they're going to be tough. They're not going to track runners all the time. They're going to do suspect things. They're going to have teething problems. But I agree with you, Yanni. That could be a very good centre half partnership, provided there's a plan and we know that it's short-term pain for long-term gain. I'm on that, but you don't always get the vibe that there's a plan for Gabriel, for Saliba, for any young player, really and truly. It seems like we're doing it off the cuff, man. BG, what's your thoughts on Daka, Samore, and Bertrand signings for Leicester? Good signings to complement the team. Hopefully, Leicester, can do one better than they did last year of actually getting into the Champions League and things and not bottling it and things like that. If I can remember rightly where they finished in the league. Did they bottle it a second year? I'm sure they did. Daka, good FM signing. Let's see if he can do it in the real life. You know, Samore, very excited about Samore. Hopefully he lives up to the hype. And Bertrand, 2 years deal. It's a very shrewd addition. I know you've got a bag of fullbacks at your club. You know, Danilo, James Justin, you know, Luke Thomas has come on the scene now. So it's a good addition for a little 2 years. And he's got experience. And, you know, I'm sure he worked with Brendan Rodgers when they were both at Chelsea. So, yeah, man, he comes with a wealth of experience. So it is what it is, man. Who do you think is more suited for sorry, my guy. Who do you think is a better suited partner for Partey? Someone like Neves, who is more of a ball player, or Basuma is more defensive? They both equally they both be good. It all depends what the manager wants. If the manager doesn't necessarily care for progressive football and wants, you know, not saying they can't pass, but to stay, you know, to just be 60s and stuff like that, then, you know, you go for Partey and Bissouma. If you want a bit more yin and yang, a bit more complement, you know, Partey can pass and Neves can defend, but they've got the yin and yang, then you go for that. For me, as I keep saying, my dude, Arsenal over a 38-game period, you need the luxury, or better yet, the option of being able to do that. You know, some games you might need 2 6s, sometimes at 8. Sometimes, bro, you might even say Partey, Bissouma, if he did sign whoever is a 6 that comes into this club. We don't need either. We could go with 2 expansive 8s, a 10, and then force some creativity out wide. I don't think you always need that, man. So, yeah, man. It is what it is. Thing is, DG, when most fans heard about the link to him, they was asking why do we need another centre back, and need to look in other areas. So if we don't get him and get other areas we need, I'm happy. I hear that, but personally, I wanted a centre half, so I'm happy with that. And personally, if as much as fans can be right, if clubs listen to what fans feel all of the time, there was a point Arsenal fans wanted Owen Coyle through the door. Where would that have gone? You know, I personally don't belittle anyone's opinion, but my opinion is you've got to be blind to see Arsenal don't need a centre half. There's difference between quality and quantity. We've got quantity. There's not necessarily quality, and it's not building blocks. Now, admittedly, Ben White wouldn't have been there. I would have looked at even a cut price man that's 26, 27 that we don't even know about. I wanted that just as long as he's more experienced, and whether he earns the reputation or not, he's better than exactly what we have, sort of thing. That's what I was on. So I think we need a centre half. You know, I like Chambers, but beyond being a second choice right back, and maybe not in the ideal world, he earned this spot. He shouldn't be anywhere near the first team because we should have better options. We should be moving man on. Marie, beyond the squad player, you should be punching. So, and again, I don't think even Gabriel, he's learning. I'm a big Gabriel fan, as you can see, but he's learning a couple of tough tricks in the trades. I like Holding. If you're trying to be a top 4 club, he can't be anything other than a squad player unless there's a dramatic improvement. So, you know, I wouldn't be. I'm not. Listen, everyone can have their opinions, but I'm not happy if a centre half doesn't arrive in this club. Equally, right back, centre mid, right back, the spine of the club. Centre half, centre mid, right back. You don't get them areas. You know, for me, definitely, if you don't get centre half and right back, minimum, forget about it. Forget about anything. So we'll have to see. There's talk of Neves arriving and this happening and that happening. So we'll have to see. But I need a right back. I can't live without a centre half or a right back. You know, I need a centre half because, again, I think we're just rolling the luck of the dice. People like Chambers, Marie, they can play their way into form. I think, personally, I think fans overrate Marie. When I say overrate, that doesn't mean he's not a bad footballer. I just think they look at him as a messiah and they don't look at his lack of pace or his mistakes. Like when we beat Chelsea, he's getting away with, you know, being shaky in the build-up to the goal they did score and the penalty. That's not me criticising Marie. I just don't think he's levels to be a consistent man. I don't mind him being in the squad, but I need a centre half personally. You know, I can't, like I said, I cannot live without a centre half. And I think we'd all agree. Sorry, let me just type this. Without a centre half and a right back. And I think we'd all agree we need a right back. Well, Chambers can do his thing, but let's be honest, that's stopgap. Chambers is exactly where he's always been as an Arsenal player. He's come to this club with the ability to play right back, centre half, and centre mid, and had dribs. Well, not in centre mid, but had dribs and drabs of both positions and not locked it down. You know, so I can't live without a centre half personally. But it is what it is. Big up footy chats. What happens to Saliba now? Well, for me, if Saliba was under my control, he's going to play football. He'd probably start the season 3rd or 4th choice centre half for me, admittedly, because I'll play Gabriel ahead of you. I know he's at the Olympics. Ben White, if he steps in, is ahead of you. Based on last season, I'd probably initially give Holding, just so we can start off the season well. Holding will be ahead of you, and then you'll get your chance, but that's where you would start. So that's why I understand if you couple in Marie's probably happy to sit on the bench as much as you can be as a footballer. The same for Chambers. I understand you lot are the squad guys. You lot won't kick up a fuss. Gabriel, Holding, Ben White, if he comes, you're my guy. Saliba, go out and play 20, 30 games. I'm on that. As long as there's proactiveness, I'm fully on that. I hear that and I agree with it. So for me, like I said, I would send Saliba to Brighton personally. Send him somewhere in the Prem, and you can send him back to France, but I would send him to Brighton because they've got a good defensive system. They've got an emphasis on defending. We want our centre half to improve, so why wouldn't we? It doesn't make sense. If your kid is decent at maths and shows promise, and you know there's a club down the road that has the best maths tutors, and they say, give him, you know, I'll improve him even more if you let him come to us after school on a Friday night. You'd be a shit parent if you didn't do that, innit? So we'd be crap, you know. For me, proactiveness. You know, to be fair, we saw the information come out in that, you know, Saliba had his heart set on Rennes. Rennes messed about, and then Arsenal and St. Etienne couldn't pattern up last summer. Proactiveness. I want Saliba to be part of the first team, as I did the minute we signed him. I didn't want him to go back to St. Etienne. I didn't want him to go to Nice. but I understood it because he's only 20. The key thing is we've got to be proactive about the man's future, because Arsenal, as you know, we just get gassed off potential, bro. Potential is nothing. Everyone's got potential in life. Potential don't mean nothing until you try and take active steps to realize it. And then we sit on our hands and then we wonder why, you know, Saliba might turn 23, 22, and we're like, why isn't he quite hit there? You know, it's about the building blocks. And again, that's where I'm kind of onto Arteta, because whether it's Balogun, Smith Rowe, Saka, Martinelli, Ben White if he comes, Saliba if he stays, Gabriel, I need to see significant improvement. It's down to the players individually, but there's not one player I can say significantly improved. If I nitpick, I can say Xhaka doesn't look as frail. Pepe towards the end of the last season. I actually feel Holding's improved. You know, he's bust Chambers. Of course, he's improved Saka and Smith Rowe. But if I'm cynical, I can't, like I said, I don't see significance. You know, in the same way people are screaming, oh, Pochettino made Danny Rose and Walker bad boys. Oh, you know, City, all them City players, Raheem Sterling, all these things. We haven't got that. We have not got that. And that's what I want to see, because as much as we need to spend money and things, our manager has to be a trainer. You know, a head coach. We're talking about developing young players. We're talking about having a mandate of a young player every 2 seasons. You need a man that can do that. And so far, I haven't seen that. Because when the pressure's on, he's leaning towards experienced, mediocre dons. And the irony is, what these young guys have saved his bacon. So I don't know. And that's something I want to see. You know, next season's a reset. We need to get top 4. We need to get Europe. We need to show consistency. But with that, it's the chance to show us where Balogun's base level is at, where all the other young players are at, where I look around and I see a lot of young players, and this is why they're going to get cut loose, really and truly. Not everybody can do this. You know, I do think Eddie had chances under Arteta. He ain't taking them. So I have to be fair, but that's what I'm saying anyways when I look at it on a cynical basis, my guy. Please get the like button up, people. I'm loving the engagement levels. I'm loving the questions. Get your opinions, questions, and the rest of it in. You know, the closest signing Arsenal look like they're completing is NUNO TAVARES, folks. We'll cover that in a second, but just before that, people, obviously, it's Switzerland versus Spain. Big up the 5 people who have hit that like button already. Large up to you lot, man. I really appreciate that. Obviously, you got Belgium, England. Belgium, Italy, sorry, and you've got Ukraine versus England, where again you shouldn't do things early in the morning. Shall I leave it, people? We think it's cool because it bugs me a bit how it's meant to be Ukraine over here, England there, but I might just leave it still if it's not an issue. I might. Don't quote me, man. If it's not that deep, let me know. And where are we at for likes, though, man? We have to at least have 100, man. 126 is good, but it could be better, man. Keep running that up. I appreciate that. I believe in processes. If you show me something to believe in, bro, man. If we're at war and the other sides are pressing us, man's not just gonna hold my hands and scream kumbaya and pray to God. Man wants to fight back, sort of thing. So I believe in things as much as I can see them to a degree. You know, I do believe in the unknown and higher powers, and you know, you have to have an element of faith in the club, but I can only, you know, I like to see in front of me, and I can only go off your past history record of what you've said. And Arsenal don't really have credit in my bank because, you know, they've been selling false promises. You know, the talk is cheap, doing is expensive. And like I said, we're in overdraft when it comes to doing because it's expensive. But bro, it's never multiple names at once. Fair, yeah, it's never we're trying to get Buendia and then the Odegaard. It's almost like, we're going Buendia. We got the same agent. This guy got the same agent. Then now we're moving away from it now because this is happening. Only time will tell. Like I said, I'm prepared to shut my mouth until September the 1st or whenever the window closes. But then I'm onto it because you cried about preseason. I want to see tactics from Arteta. We need better players. Bring in better players. You know, if none of this happens, it's literally the definition of insanity, expecting things to change next year. And we just need a miracle. You know, miracles do happen. I don't know if they happen in Arsenal's cases because I ain't seen none and things like that. The problem is our players never look like they're getting better. It's because we change our first 11 so no one gets to settle. I think that's true in some incidences, 100%. More gossip than loose women. Trust me. LOCATELLI or Piotr Zieliński. I'd rather LOCATELLI, but wait. Fair play. Good comments, man. Good comments. How many times has this club let us down? What the hell? I just got scammed $60, but thankfully DJ's here to uplift the mood. Thanks for providing content, my guy. That's a shame, man. I hate people like that, man. That scam man and them thing there, but hopefully you get your peas back in that, man. Shall we all bark if Nuno scores? You man got bants, man. You man got bants. On that though, let's quickly cover this Nuno story, people. Now, as we know, Nuno Tavares seems to allegedly be moved. Please don't spam. I won't answer your question. Nuno Tavares seems to be moving closer to Arsenal. We hear the fee's been done, personal terms been agreed. 1 minute we hear he's flying to England to do his medical. Then we hear he's going to do it in Portugal. We've heard he's spoken with Arteta. I assume over Zoom and things because there's probably an element of isolation he has to do if he's coming from Portugal to England. But for what it's worth, people, Arteta in quick conversation with player as Arsenal seal signing. Apparently, Brighton and all these teams were trying to get involved in signing him as well. Brighton, Southampton, I saw in the last article. In fact, let me see if I can, Tavares, Brighton. Let me see. So yeah, as you can see here, people, let's go with this article. I just clicked it. Arsenal transfer deal to sign Nuno Tavares, subject of hijacked attempt before the medical. We're set to complete the signing of the Benfica left back for £6.8 million. And I'm supporting him, man. I know it's a bit underwhelming to me, but it's almost like people have written the man off before he's gotten a chance, and it makes me want you to improve. I know he's a mad youth with the dogs and that, but from a footballing point of view, I want to see what you got. And this is where I'm looking at Arteta because, yeah, he's going to be second choice, sorry. But second choice doesn't mean you don't need to improve. We hear that when I speak to Benfica people and you lot have, they say an average Gilmando's kept him out the team. Why is that? Is he suspect? We hear he's suspect across many aspects. You've bought him clearly for the player he can be today, which is back up. But can you improve him? Can you get a tune out of him? Can you? Because I want him to push Tini. I don't think Tini will ever stagnate or ever rest on his laurels. But if Tini has that monkey on his back, that anytime he turns his shoulder, there's a problem. There's something there. The same, Bellerin. I don't think Bellerin and him are the same people, but Bellerin, I feel, didn't have competition, and that played his own little part into why Bellerin's not there. I don't care if they're squad players, first teamers. I want everyone to push and get a tune out of him. If his positioning is poor, Arteta, make sure his positioning is good. If he doesn't track runners, make sure the man tracks runners, because obviously, God forbid, Tierney is an ever-present man, but he gets injured. We're going to need my man to perform. It's as simple as that. So we can't, I don't want to write him off, really, but we need to fix up. Please hit the like button, 300 odd people. Arsenal are set to clinch the signing of Nuno Tavares in the coming days, but fellow Premier League club Brighton tried to hijack the deal early this week. Man tried to hijack Ben White. Man tried to hijack Nuno Tavares. Man are trying to buy Smith Rowe off us. Bro, I say the club just need to hire some hitmen, and we need to go beat up some other people because we need to get some respect on our name. Everyone's trying to steal our thing, but Arsenal are set to clinch the signing of Nuno Tavares, as I said. Mikel Arteta wanted to bring in additional cover for Kieran Tierney at left back, given his injury, and Tavares was identified by club scouts. Now, we hear he was identified by club scouts, but then we also hear Benfica tried to buy Guendouzi, and then, long story short, somehow my man's name got thrown in the mix. I don't mind it because I'd rather roll with this guy than Kolasinac, because this 21-year-old, we could probably iron him out more than Kolasinac, and Kolasinac is on 100 bags. He's played 25 times for Benfica's first team since his debut, I believe it says. I'm always wary of the highly rated stuff. He's played at international level for his country, so there is some pedigree. He's played against us. While Arsenal moved quickly to negotiate the deal, a publication in Portugal has said Brighton made the last-ditch attempt to snatch Tavares from under the Gunners' noses. The Seagulls were willing to offer regular football, something Tavares is unlikely to receive in North London. At least initially, there's only 40 games. Really, apparently, he had his head set on joining us, and he's a young man with money, gonna join a London team, gonna have a good time. Apparently, the player reportedly had his medical yesterday in Lisbon before jetting to England. So yeah, man, apparently he'll have to spend 5 days in isolation before putting the finishing touches. So in relation to official confirmation, pictures, and all of these sort of things, you probably wouldn't see that. So it is what it is, well done to Nuno. Hopefully you can come and do your thing at the football club. Let's see what you're on. But going back to this, as you lot could see, people, the Gunners preferred the Benfica player took tests in Portugal before travelling to London due to COVID-19 restrictions in England. After the two sides found an agreement on Monday, the left back was training with the Eagles, while the last bureaucrat bureaucratic. I can't say that. Bureaucratic, bro. The last details were discussed. The English teachers helped me in it. That's a mad word still. Meanwhile, Mikel Arteta has already got in touch with the fullback. I must imagine he's spoken to him, you know, told him the role he's going to play, how he can improve him, what he could do at Arsenal, and them sort of things there. Apparently, Tavares went through severe scrutiny with the North London club through their scouting department, recruitment department, and finally Arteta, who approved the signing. Now, this is the same people who signed Runnison and done some other dud stuff. So I'm a bit wary of what that is. But apparently, only after that, Arsenal submitted a formal offer worth €8 million plus €2 million in potential bonus payments. As we know, he'll travel to London, do his quarantine, and then, you know, he should be back. So if I look at it, 5 days. We're back in pre-season training on the 7th, so he probably just misses that. What he traveled yesterday allegedly, right? Oh no, he'll travel today. So what? The 2nd of July, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He might just be able to be part of the initial pre-season plans next week on the 7th when we return and the hard work starts. Which again, he's clearly not a first teamer like that playing regular basis. But the quicker you get people in pre-season, the quicker they can adapt. Life is funny. God forbid Tini gets injured in pre-season, suddenly my man's no longer second choice. You're the first choice. Admittedly, based on what I'm hearing about him, at least initially, I'm more leaning towards Bukayo Saka doing a job there. Something where I'm happy we've signed Tavares, allegedly, because we can now use him left, right wing, maybe even 10. Exclusively, I want Saka as much as we can on the left or the right. That's him. You know, I just want Saka to be able to focus on playing out wide, focus on getting more goals and more assists, something that he probably could have done better with in terms of goals. His finishing needs to improve. And his corners. So let man focus on them thing there. It's a cut price, but just because it's cut price doesn't mean it's low risk. You know, we got Kolasinac on a free, as we did with Willian. We signed loan fees for Ceballos and Odegaard. How much change did we get from any of these players? So it is what it is. I wanted Spinazzola, but again, you know, if you can't shop in Aldi, you can't go in Selfridge's food department or Waitrose and things. So you have to run before you have to crawl before you can run, brethren. But on that topic, that's that, man. You know, hopefully we get the man. Hopefully he gets a chance. Nuno Tavares completes medical and flies London. Complete mute. There we have it. Sorry, my guy forgot the A. Make sure you're hitting that like button, man. Bro, Spinazzola and him should be fighting each other, bro. Man, forget Spinazzola's right-footed as well, so you could just move him to right back. I know he's excelling. I know he's almost exclusively as a left back, but you could play him there. Obviously, people, please make sure you're here for the watch along. If you're not going to be there, hit the like button. You've already got one hater. Again, you know, I'm sorry. You know, somebody's girl must be vexed. I must have done someone dirty, or somebody's mother must have bought a DGT because somebody has hit the dislike button on one of them. Let's go and trump them, people. Obviously, you've got Brighton. Man said Brighton. You've got Belgium versus Italy next. And then obviously tomorrow, you've got England, Ukraine. And obviously, you've got the Czech Republic. So, yeah, man, if there's any more transfer news, keep them coming, people. Keep them coming. Let's type in Arsenal and see if anything else comes up. You know, as I always do every day to get ideas to what do videos about. Oh, how could I forget? We ain't even spoke about Zieliński. I'm acting bougie. I ain't even talked about what we're supposed to talk about. And I'm here saying, let's have checks. Apologies for that, people. So, yeah. Go with Zieliński. Sorry, people, before we get into this, I'm not even going to cap, man. I need to, before I could type his name, I need to see that, man. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. But yeah, man, I need to see his name before we type that. Zieliński. Shout out to all the Polish supporters and things as well on that topic. What the fuck? Oh. But yeah, man, Arsenal want Zieliński apparently, and I don't know, man. This is something that's been going on for years. On my opinions on Zieliński, he's a baller, man. He's very, you know, he can play in a couple of roles. He's done his thing at Napoli. He's very technical. He can come short for the ball. He can play long passes. You know, he can dribble. He's a decent threat from set pieces. I wouldn't mind him at all, people. I wouldn't, but I don't know if there's any basis of this. Apparently, according to an Italian newspaper, Arsenal have come forward with interest in Napoli midfielder Zieliński. The Gunners are expected to sign Anderlecht midfielder Lokonga in the near future, but he isn't the only player bolstering Mikel Arteta's engine room. Arsenal are looking for an immediate impact player in midfield with the likes of Ruben Neves and Locatelli linked. Wouldn't mind Pickford still now. I'm starting to people. I don't know what's going on. I'm starting to feel the agenda. It is claimed that Arsenal have shown up for Zieliński, attempting to bring him to North London this summer. The report adds that nobody is untouchable at Napoli, but their president will not sell anybody on the cheap, and that means Arsenal would have to dig deep for Zieliński, with the Italian side seemingly under no pressure. I mean, he's 27 years of age, people, and he's been in Italy for a while. He might want to make a move, but you'd have to pay top dollar, people. You'd have to pay top dollar. He's a very good player. He'd be a very cultured player at Arsenal. He very much is an Arsenal player. But for what it's worth, I can't see it. Should we click the official article, people? Wow. Allow me, man. No 3 days. Well, we can't click it. They're not even trying to give you a little free thing, people. So, boy, it's a bit peak in that regards. So, yeah, we can't click on that. But that's that in relation to Zieliński. So, I don't know whether to buy that or not. In fact, I arguably don't buy that, people. But it is what it is in that regards, man. It really is. Shout out to the Twitch gang, the members, the moderators, and the rest of it. Where are we at in terms of likes now? We're at 168 people. We could do substantially better than that. Why aren't we in for hour anymore? Arteta wanted him badly. What changed so dramatically? Love the content. Bernard, I don't know if we're really still in or out for him, but I'd imagine all cards are on the table. I would like him to sign. Renato Sanchez, Gabriel is doing all he can, to get him to the club. Allegedly, Arsenal want him, but we'll have to see in that regards. He's another one that would improve us. And like Yoni has said, he's class. Zieliński's class, but he ain't coming here. Smash the like button like D is saying, folks. Yeah, man. Jason probably hit that, man. If you like the content, make sure to subscribe, people. It's free and it helps out to get up to speed for the next content. Appreciate that, man. We are notoriously ish at signing defenders, so we'll see how this plays out. Hoping for the best. Play. Nuno Mendes wouldn't come here to be cover for Tierney, of course. Well, Nuno Mendes would cost about 50 million. And I'd rather someone like Tavares that can develop than have an experienced player in his 30s, happy to just take a paycheck, being content as second choice to Tini. And I'm sure Nuno doesn't want to be second choice. I hope he pushes him all the way, man. But I can't lie, man. This Nuno brother does look shaky in many aspects, man. DG, did you see the officials for the England match? Yeah, bear them a German, so make of that what it is. New contract talks for Leno. Again, I've heard that online, but until I see an article, I don't really want to speak on it because it could just, it could just be them Twitter rumors and that. So yeah, man. I mean, it would. I don't know where I'd sit where Leno is because the man's talking about going, then he wants to sign a new deal. I just say from all this bipolar stuff, you just sign a new keeper personally. Need to sign our new signings in before we play Chelsea on August the 1st. I don't necessarily think it's because we play Chelsea, but fair play. Hendon Gooner, good afternoon to you as well, my guy. Abdullahi, I appreciate that. We do need to spend money correctly. Arsenal move too silent, trying to be secretive, but end up messing all their targets. I mean, silence is golden. We don't always have to, announce to the world we're doing things, man. Poland here, without any familiarity with him, I think he could be a very big boost in midfield. His creativity is on a next level. Starting to worry about the transfer business, my guy. We all worrying, but again, we don't know in it. It's a long summer. Technically, the window just opened yesterday. Personally, like I said, I will shut my. I'm not saying you should. I'm not saying this is a reason to be confidence, but I will shut my mouth until September, if and when the inevitable happens. In that we don't address, for me, 80 to 90% of the areas we need to. Then, bro, it is what it is. It's another long season, innit? It's another long season, folks, where it's just L's upon L's upon L's upon L's. So yeah, man, it is what it is. I mean, we can look at Locatelli if you guys want. I mean, not that we're getting him, and what I'm about to show you might confirm the heart's broken. As we know with Locatelli, really and truly, our name being Arsenal, it's only being dropped in stuff because people know, well, Swallow want Juventus to pay up the P's. And even when they've said it, they said, we're still in negotiations with Juventus. We've got a good relationship. Arsenal are the only ones. And why would he want to sign for us over Juventus, people? It's a fact. Manuel Locatelli intent on joining Juventus despite Arsenal offer. Like that. Locatelli not interested signing for Arsenal. So while it would be an amazing signing and a great statement, he's not interested. You know, Juventus, Arsenal, there's no interest. I like playing under Allegri, playing under Arteta, bro. Playing for Juventus in the champs, playing for Arsenal with nothing. It doesn't make sense. And you probably look at Arsenal. I mean, you could tempt him to sign if you look around and you can see seriousness. Do you see that with everyone? Do you get the vibe that Arsenal are badly wanted to return to where they are? No, because we've slept walk into the abyss, misread the signs, and you, like I said, we don't get here overnight in where we are as a club, and you're not going to get out of here in 1 or 2 seasons. Anyways, though, Manuel Locatelli is intent on joining Juventus this summer, despite Arsenal's interest, according to reports in Italy. Apparently, Arsenal have already submitted an offer for the midfielder who has impressed for Italy in the Euros. According to a journalist, Locatelli is holding out for Juventus and is keen to wait for the Turin club to reach an agreement with Sassuolo. Now, obviously, if they don't come to an agreement, then we can get our man, but I don't think we will. The report claims that a 40 million offer will be enough to convince Sassuolo, while Juventus are keen to structure the deal in installments with the final payment in 2023. So clearly, all that's being said, all they want is, you know, clarity over how much is being paid, when it's going to be paid, and they'll get their man. Locatelli's desire to join Juventus is also due to the club being able to offer Champions League football. Exactly. I actually think that's the last thing. I just think there's many other things to sign for them above us. Earlier this week, again, we know Arsenal have made an official bid. He went on to say they're pushing hard to sign Manuel, and it's an improved bid. We'll see. Also, Juventus want Locatelli. We have a special relationship with them. We've a new meeting scheduled with Juventus. We are trying to leave the lad calm, so I've not spoken to him or his agents yet. We can think about Locatelli's future, but above all, we care about his presence, and that means Italy doing well at the Euros. So again, we have a special relationship with them, Juventus. We have a meeting scheduled. He's going to Juventus. So sorry to break hearts. We did speak about that yesterday, but it is where it is firmly in that regards, man. Locatelli's not interested in that, and you're just going to have to eat that one. Make sure you're hitting the like button, people. And as you lot know, it is watch along business straight after this. But yeah, man. Apparently, Toby Alderweireld has told Tottenham he wants to leave. Bro, you shouldn't have signed a new deal. You should have wanted to leave time ago, brother. It was mentioned to me yesterday that since moving to the Emirates, over 30 players, first-team players that were signed were all subsequently sold at a loss. That is incompetence at the highest level. Hendon Gooner, you said it there, man. You said it there. Do you see the fans impacting on the team performance when fans are back? Well, fans are always going to impact the team's performance, and team's performance is always going to impact the fans. You know, if you play shit, they're going to boo you. If you give them encouragement, they're going to support you. So yeah, man, it is where it is in that regard. Looks like Saliba might actually get a chance. Surely Saliba, Gabriel, and Maria is enough for a side not in Europe. You're forgetting a new centre half will come into the club, and you're forgetting Callum Chambers, who Arteta holds in high regards, and is probably prepared to just leave him in and amongst the squad. Then Saliba. So yeah, man, the dream was fun while it lasted, bro. Don't allow yourself to dream as an Arsenal fan. You're putting yourself in dangerous territory. Please make sure you're hitting that like button, people. Very dangerous territory. Yeah, man. Billy Gilmore went out on loan. That's a good move for him, man. Yeah, we heard allegedly we're looking at Ramsdale. I don't really see why, because I don't know how good he is with the ball at his feet. I don't really have him down as a great shot stopper and half of these things, so I don't really get it. But at that point now, man, where nothing surprises me, nothing impacts me, I just take everything, accept everything of safe value at face value. No point in having ambition and the rest of it, because this club doesn't know what the fuck it is. Let me see if there's any other news floating about. Well, Bellerin's been linked with Inter Milan again. We'll talk about that. Why not? In fact, no, man. It's the same old stuff, man. How they want him and how Inzaghi's a fan and all of this stuff. Let's just get moving, man. Very interesting ones, regardless. Boy. Benfica fans have said he's crap. We'll see. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced either, but I'm prepared to give him a chance. And, you know, I can't lie. When somebody everybody's writing them off, it makes me want to support them more. I'm not gonna lie. I've spoken to Benfica fans. One of my bros isn't a Benfica fan, but he is Portuguese. It don't appear that anyone has anything particularly good to say about him. Not saying he's bad, but they're not buzzing over him. So we'll have to see, man. I'm resigned to just wait until the season starts and seeing who turns up on the pitch. Just going to enjoy the Euros and the rest of the summer. What will be exactly. It's a crazy one, man. Interesting comments, though, man. Fakir, that one there is gone. Seems to have gone away, but getting to the point, you might have to do that one. Gotta take everything at face value, bro. We're in the mud. Exactly that. One of these in the nose put their neck on the line and said fee and personal terms have been agreed for Renato Sanchez. Broski, when I see some credible people saying it is what it is, I'm not saying nobody's right or wrong. I'm just saying it. You can go on Twitter right now and just, get a bunch of followers and start moving mad. So I don't know what to read. It's a bit like the Leno contracts. We've all seen and heard that. Until I see some credible outlets speaking on that and there's legs to it, I don't know. These guys might be credible, but I don't know, man. Really don't know, man. It's an interesting one. I want to see what happens with outgoings because the players we want to sell aren't at the Euros bar. Xhaka, trust me, we need to make some progress there. We've already got a bloated squad. We've got a bloated squad with less games now, man. I've already offered my thoughts on Renato Sanchez. I think he's a good player. Bring him to the club. For more extended thoughts, I can actually find you a video, really. Like, there's just no point going over the same things, broski. Where is he? And it's a shameless plug. Scroll down. There we go. I've just dropped the link in the live chat for you, man. That's my opinions, man. Let's get Renato, Calvin Phillips, and Locatelli. Why I'd like all of them. You're asking a lot there. Basuma or Renato Sanchez. I think Renato Sanchez is a bit more progressive, so I'd say him. If Edu don't perform in this window, he has to be sacked. Will he be sacked? I don't know. What's the highest price Xhaka goes for? Not a clue. Man, here we want 20 million euros. So I'd be inclined to believe 20 million euros. Really? Would you take Pope as backup? Well, beggars can't be choosers, but I don't particularly rate Nick Pope. So, and for him, you was in the English squad until you got injured. It doesn't make sense to sign for Arsenal to be backup. It don't make sense. But we'll have to see what happens, man. Don't seem like there's much in terms of transfers, but it's a slow news day for Arsenal. It's the same old, really. Do the Swiss beat Spain? You can't rule out anyone, man. You can't rule out anyone, man. And on that note, it's time to do the shameless plug-in stuff again. Obviously, after this, people, I'm going to be live Switzerland versus Spain. That's in 3 hours, people. Watch along business. If you can't be there, run up the like button, people. Obviously, again, today, Belgium, Italy. And you've got Ukraine, well, you've got the Czech Republicans versus Denmark as well tomorrow. And you've got Ukraine versus England, folk. 343 of you locked in. We should at least be at 200 likes, man. What is going on there, folks? 199. Come on, there's over 100 of you. Listen, if you're watching this, you ain't hit that like button and you're Arsenal fan, forget about signing players. You're not signing players. We're going to sign the shittest players you could think of. You're going to be shitter than them, Boy, and if you're an England fan like there, we're going out tomorrow. If you want England to go out, we're staying in the competition. If you don't want Arsenal to sign players, we will be signing players. So hit that like button. And obviously, if you don't care about any of that, I'm sure you care about your pockets. Do you want an extra bill? I'm sure you don't want an unexpected bill. So hit that like button, man. We have to start guilt tripping you lot into such, man. Like up the thing like my guy D Bands has said. Come on, man. I'd be happy if Ben White went Everton. There's no way he's worth 50 million. So when is Arsenal getting their backup keeper? I don't know, man, because you've seen that Onana guy now. Apparently, he's agreed to deal with Inter Milan. So What does that mean? I don't know, bro, my guy. You think if we call QPR and beg them to take Willian, they'll do it? Boy, they're not paying his wages. They probably can't afford his wages. Big up Abdullahi for liking the video. So yeah, hopefully you get non-expected bills, my guy. Who's your ideal right back? DG, man. 100%. You think Arsenal will bottle this one too? Bottle what? Have to see, man. Like I said, it's difficult. Everything's at face value because in my head, I don't even fully register that we're signing players. So it is what it is. If we don't get it, all right. We'll have to see, man. I just hope there's plan A's, plan B's, plan C's. I don't want to hear no excuses, man. I mean, he's a better footballer than him, but Zieliński and Xhaka are two different players. I'd rather him in my 11 than Xhaka, but fair play. Everyone's entitled to their opinions and such. There we go. All right. YouTube, calm down. If you guys feel guilty, go buy DG merch today. Hey, come on, my guy. Large up I big up my guy Liam, the latest person that I saw cop some merch as well. I appreciate that. That sets me up for some shameless promotion as well. Let me find the link. Oh, God don't want me to because it's not loading. Right, this is deep. This is sad. What's going on? Oh, this is sad. Very sad. Very, very, very sad. Oh, here we go. Here's the link. And said Williams coming good this season. Oh, boy. Let's hope so, innit? Let's hope so. When will you be with Curtis next, bro? You have to ask Curtis, man. I've asked several times. You know, he's got a busy schedule. I'm not gonna beg no one. Not gonna bread no one. Like, you know, it is what it is. Guys are unreliable, man. You know, when he wants it, he's there. I've asked. We're even waiting on him to reply to my text about getting the scoreboard. So make of that what you will, man. You know. I got my 2-year-old supporting Arsenal. Should I feel bad? Yeah, you should, man. Make them just love football for loving football's sake, man. And you're right. A lot of it is that. A lot of it is fake rumors. But that's like every club and everywhere, man. I don't know who's paying 100 million for Declan Rice, but that's a mazza. An absolute mazza. I'm not too sure that's the best thing to be doing. But it does come with that English premium. So maybe that's I appreciate that, my guy. You know, you'd always ask, where's the collabs with Turkish and Curtis and things? Bro, it's up to them, you know. It's up to me as well, but it's up to them, man. You know, I've asked Curtis several times. It's up to him, bro. Man, I got a reply, bro. And Turkish, obviously, that one there's probably a myth, man. I don't think we're gonna see that anytime soon, man. Really and truly, man. I don't think it's gonna be there, bro. Of course, Curtis is sick. That's my guy, man. But I'm talking way before that. Like, I love Curtis, but it's very difficult to line things with him. The same with Turkish, as you know. You lot all got Mandem as well. It's difficult to do things with the Mandem. You know, Mandem can be unreliable. So I like to just rely on myself, man, because I can't keep doing this. We agree we're doing something one week, next week is flipped up and things. That things happen, but that starts costing me. That starts stopping me from doing what I'm doing. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is, but I'm sure we'll get a pattern. But them man got their own lives to live, and I'm not begging no one for nothing. Let's sign Sabitzer for 50 million. It's a bargain. Man's a baller and can play next to Partey and play 10 if needed. Would be an excellent signing. Exactly. I wouldn't play him 10, but exactly. Thoughts on swapping Emil Smith Rowe 30 million for Grealish? I mean, it would be wavy in principle, but it's not going to happen, is it? And potentially, you'd say Villa have been shortchanged there. But if you put the money on the table, you can get whatever player you want within reason. But you're right, man. Problem is you don't see a real working method from Arsenal or a proactive approach into how we're going to go about signing people. So, pardon me, unless you're in the know, we're just going to be where we're at, aren't we? Really, is where it is. Time is the master. I mean, time is a master, but yeah, man. English tax is a serious matter. Isn't Grealish already City bound allegedly? Bro, Messi's out of contract. He'd probably rather retire than sign for this club, man. So it's a bit of a mad thing in that regards, man. Probably is. But who knows, man? Anything could happen, man. I just hope, like I said, I just need a centre-half, man. You give me a centre-half, I'm cool, man. Give me a centre-half. That's all I want. But yeah, man, there's nothing else to really go upon, man. So I'm going to love and leave you lot. Like I said, people, I'm only leaving you lot temporarily because we've got watch-alongs to be doing later, people. So here we have it. You've got Switzerland versus Spain, you know. And then today after that, we've got Belgium. And I've got a bunch of, I dropped the DG podcast. So if you're today or Friday, so if you're on Spotify, Apple Music, I've actually put it on YouTube as well. Go and do that. Big up Danny, smash the likes. So yeah, I appreciate that, organized, man. But I'm going to love and leave you lot for now because there's nothing else to do, man. If there's anything else Arsenal related, I'll be back, man. You lot take care. People, DG. Wow. All right, man. In fact, it can't be a live stream without trolling the ops. It can't be. It can't be. I just realized, man.
Trophy. What have you got there? Trophy. Oh, thank you very much. I didn't get this at my last club. You didn't? You were being. Against this right back, Charlie.